We all know that K-pop TikTok can be a very toxic place and there's always so much drama. I was feeling curious and I decided to go and check what people were saying. And well, what I can say is that K-pop TikTok is getting out of control. Anyway, in this video I decided to respond to some of these opinions. I tried not to include those opinions that were basically just straight up hate, and so I ended up with these. So now let's start. Sakura has no stage presence. To be honest, I'm kind of unsure about this. On one hand I disagree, because Sakura has a decent presence, but on the other hand I have to say she's probably behind the other LE SSERAFIM members in terms of stage presence, but this doesn't mean she's bad. I feel like there are two types of people, one that tries to portray Sakura as this boring and underwhelming performer and the other that tries to paint her as the idol with the best center quality out there, and I disagree with both. I think she has improved so much in terms of presence and she can stand on stage while giving a good performance, but still, I don't think her stage presence is as good as some people make it out to be, and I don't get why some people are so hell-bent on saying she would be the best center in LE SSERAFIM and she would have been the best center in IZ*ONE. Idols should have the chance to get back in their group after being proven innocent in a scandal. As much as this would be absolutely great, I actually think it's impossible, just because once a scandal happens, the idol's image is usually tainted forever, so I highly doubt the company or even the idols would agree to rejoin their groups, fearing they might have a bad influence on people's perception of the group as a whole. The thing is, even when an idol is proven innocent, there's still a portion of the K-pop stan community that keeps on believing them to be somewhat guilty, but also, an idol leaving the group is a big enough of a shock, let alone an idol leaving and then coming back out of the blue. So as much as stans want these idols to come back, it really wouldn't work. The center and main dancer position should be combined into main performer. Stage presence and skill should be considered. Even if they are a great dancer, if they lack in facials or presence, no one wants to watch them at the center of the dance break. It's true that stage presence sometimes matters more than skills, but I don't think it's realistic to combine the center and the main dancer position. Some idols might have the charisma of a center and the skills of a main dancers, but others don't. And in that case I believe the company needs to make the most of each idol's potential. The most common example that people always bring up is ITZY, with Chaeryeong being a main dancer but not being as good of a performer as Yuji and Ryujin. And I don't know about you, but I always feel like people exaggerate Chaeryeong's lack of stage presence. Is it just me or she's actually good? She is not on par with Ryujin and Yuji, but people act as if she was so boring to watch that if she got center time for 10 seconds she'd ruin the whole performance, which I think is absurd. Anyways, if an idol has what it takes to be both a center and the main dancer, then that's even better. But otherwise the main dancer is needed when it comes to more technical parts of the choreography, while the center is needed during those moments where you really have to show off the group's charisma. Both the center and the main dancer can have moments to shine, and people have to realize that. Dive send more hate to Liz that antis. I just kinda hate how some people are calling toxic token stans as dives just to try and paint the fandom badly. There have been so many people sending hate to Liz because of her weight, and I find it ridiculous how K-pop stans are trying to make it seem as if it's her own fandom doing it. You know haters exist, right? You know toxic solo stans exist, right? But somehow y'all are obsessed about painting Liz as a victim who gets hated on by the fandom. This person also goes on and talks about how dives supposedly mock Liz's natural hair color, and I have to laugh. Tell me you can't take a joke without telling me you can't take a joke. We all know Liz's blonde hair was iconic, and I'm pretty sure every dive has said how much they would love for her to have blonde hair again at some point. But calling this as mocking is just absurd. How is saying you'd like Liz to have blonde hair again mocking her? Some people are literally trying their best to paint dives as the worst fandom in 4th gen, and this is crazy. Fans rarely speak about the sexualization of male idols because it doesn't support the idea that males have it easy. I feel like people rarely speak about the sexualization of men in general, not necessarily because it doesn't fit with the man have it easy narrative. I don't even think people are choosing to ignore the sexualization of male idols. It's more like people don't even realize male idols get sexualized, and the sexualization is just as bad as the one female idols receive. People just don't think there's anything wrong with sexualizing men, and this is something that comes from society, not so much from stans trying to push a certain narrative. With that being said, even if the sexualization of male idols is a problem and it needs to be called out, this doesn't change the fact that male idols do have it easier. Male idols are more likely to be defended if they are caught up in a scandal. Male idols are not the ones who receive hate if they are in a relationship, because their girlfriend is the one who will get hated on. Male idols tend to be more frequently praised for doing the bare minimum, while female idols have to go always an extra mile to receive praise. Boy groups are also usually favored by their companies, and they tend to get a better treatment even if maybe the company's money maker is a girl group. So male idols having it easier isn't even a narrative created by K-pop stans, it's reality. K-pop stans shouldn't stop standing a group because of the fandom or because of a bad song. I half agree and half disagree. I think that if you unstan a group because of a single comeback you disliked, then you were never a real stan in the first place, because if you actually like a group you will at least give them a second chance. Every group probably has a song you don't like. Imagine unstanning them just for that. It's kinda ridiculous, but I disagree with the part that says K-pop stans should not unstan a group because of the fandom. I actually think unstanning a group if you have problems with the fandom is the best choice you could ever make. If a fandom ruins your experience with a group, there's no point in associating with the fandom any longer. I have personally been through this situation a couple of times in the past. Certain fandoms were starting to ruining my standing experience, and they were starting to make me have somewhat negative feeling towards groups, so I distanced myself. Unfortunately, it's easy for your negative view of the fandom to influence your opinion about a group. It's kinda like when you associate a song to a bad memory. The song itself is perfectly fine, but you just start thinking about that negative memory whenever you hear it. And the same goes for groups. So I think it's perfectly fine to unstan a group because of the fandom, since sometimes there's nothing else you can do. If K-pop was actually about music and talent, Dreamcatcher would be big. And my answer is no. Dreamcatcher wouldn't be big even if K-pop was all about talent, just because their music style is pretty unique and not for everyone. Most K-pop stans are not into rock, and Dreamcatcher's music can be a hit or miss for many people. If they had a more public-friendly sound, then I feel like they could be even more popular, but that's not the case. Another reason as to why I think they would still be underappreciated even if K-pop was all about talent is because of their company. The truth is that not many groups that come from a small company actually end up making it big. I feel like for being from such a small agency, Dreamcatcher has already gotten a lot of attention and has been able to build a loyal fan base, but I don't think they can grow much bigger than this. So anyway, this was everything for today. Let me know what you think about this video and about K-pop TikTok in general. Thanks for watching till the end. Bye guys.